Does the S stand for like sport or something? Or?
Standard.
Standard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a standard sport. So where you got the super sport with the GSX-R,
Yeah.
the GSX-S is it's a standard sport. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Tattoo Wheels. Today I wanted to do a long-term review on the 2018 GSX-S 750. I have had the bike now around 15 months, almost 16 months actually, and I have put almost 10,000 miles on the bike since I've owned it. So I figured now would be a good time to kind of go over some of the things that I still like about the bike and some of the things that annoy me about the bike. I still absolutely love this bike. Now, this is probably one of the longest bikes I have owned. Overall, I'm still in love with the style of the motorcycle. I absolutely love this standard look on that Suzuki has came up with. I really love the underbelly fairing. That's one of my favorite design aspects of this motorcycle. And if you watched the video before this, the first review video, you'll notice that I removed the speed screen. I honestly like the look better without it. And the speed screen, believe it or not, blocks more wind than I really thought it did until I took it off. I didn't realize it. Will I put it back on eventually? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. I put a Hot Bodies GP slip-on exhaust on. I really like it. It's very throaty. It's not overly bulky. But as far as the bike performance goes, I absolutely love this bike. I just got some new tires put on the bike last week. I have gone through 3 sets of tires and 10,000 miles, which I guess would be about average because you're averaging about 3,500 to 5,000 miles a set. Depending on how hard you ride, I guess. I've been very happy with this bike overall. There's only a few complaints I would really have. The seat itself, it's like they said, let's give you a comfortable seating position where you're not bent over and crunched up, but we're going to throw on the Super Sport seat. So it still wears you out on the backside. Now, one of the biggest complaints that I have about the bike overall is the lack of accessories and aftermarket parts in the American market. And what I mean by that is I went with a Hot Bodies GP exhaust because honestly I wanted a Yoshimura. I wanted the R1, but that's only available in Japan. And I don't want to spend the kind of money to get that thing shipped overseas when it's not even available to me in the Japanese market. And I don't know anybody overseas that could purchase it and then send it to me. But the lack of accessories for this bike, that is definitely my #1 complaint. #2 would definitely be the uncomfortable seat after long rides. It's not bad for about 2-3 hours, but if you ride anything over that, oh, even taking breaks, it will wear you out seat wise. But my back doesn't hurt nowhere near as much as it used to when I rode Super Sport, so I can't really complain with that too much. Now, the reason that the aftermarket parts for this bike are scarce in the US market is because this bike is not very popular in the US market. It's only been in the US market since 2015, and the sales of it hasn't been exactly what a lot of companies want to see when they want to make accessories available for it. Therefore, finding parts is almost impossible when it comes to aftermarket. it'll be a while before they have a full line of accessories available here in the US, but once they do, I think it'll be fine. So moving on from that, that's my number one complaint. Number two, like I said, is the seat. It's not as comfortable as I had hoped it would be, but it's not terrible. I've had more uncomfortable bikes, but it is a motorcycle, so you can't really ride over a few hours without having saddle sore anyway. But other than those two things, I really don't have any other complaints on this bike at all. This bike is definitely one of my favorites that I've owned. It's been the most fun, and it has been the most stylish one that I've really been attracted to style-wise. I do plan to do a few modifications to the bike itself. We'll put some bar end mirrors on, remove these mirrors, and I'll probably change out the blinkers on the front and rear. I'm not sure which. I'm probably going to go with like an LED, a thinner style. And I do plan on keeping this bike for probably a few more years before I think about moving on to a different one. I think that's going to go ahead and conclude today's video. But before I go, I wanted to give a shout out to this little girl and her family that I met today while I was shooting the drone footage. So Cameron, if you're watching the video, make sure you give us a thumbs up, okay? You guys have a great day. I'm Chris from Tattoo Wheels. I will catch you later.